and I'd like to call a meeting to order. And our first item on the agenda is the Pledge of Allegiance. Would y'all please stand with us?
I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Our next item is going to be the moment of silence. Would y'all please join us? Thank you. Okay, our next item is discussion and possible action on board minutes from May the 8th, 2017. Does anyone have any question or comment on these? If not, I'm going to need a motion to accept.
I make that motion.
I have a motion. Do I have a second?
I'll second.
I have a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries. Next item is going to be conference request, vehicle request, fundraisers, and use of district property. You have a list of those in your packet. And is there any questions or comments on any of them?
I just like it. I got one comment. Maybe
Okay.
Lisa can answer this on the civic symposium.
Yes,
So what does that entail?
that's the new civics law that was passed in the spring, where students will be required to pass a civics test before they graduate beginning 18-19. This summer symposium is to dig into what the law actually means and sets the parameters for how we need to devise the assessment for that.
So this is for your,
For our high school students,
yes,
They
your civics teacher, instructors.
well, yes, anybody in the social studies department that needs to go and get the information to bring it back to our school so that we will, so that we'll have that information. What's the date on it? I know we have two people.
July 14th.
Yeah, I have two people signed up because we didn't have a current principal in the building. So I couldn't get the administrator to go, and then I sent it out to all the administrative staff and that.
Okay.
So we have an administrator
That
and
answers my
teacher.
question.
Okay,
Thank you.
you're welcome.
Okay, on this other one, of course, Eden, KASA, Leadership Institute.
Uh-huh.
So that's required.
We're required to, administrators are required to get 24 hours of ELA credit. And so, just based on different professional growth plans, what different meetings we attend.
Okay. I got you. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Okay, any more questions or comments? If not, then I'm going to need a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion.
I have a motion. I need a second.
I'll second.
Have a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed? The motion carries. The next item is going to be discussion and possible action on the Ready Skills Initiative funding agreement.
And what that is the grant that we applied for, and $2.7 million to go for the new ATC center. That's our part, and it's just, we got to agree we're going to basically use our $4 million of bonding potential to help pay for the ATC center. They're giving us 2.7 and we pay 4, basically, so it's a pretty good deal.
Sounds good to me.
And I appreciate, Martha, all the work that you did. And of course, I'm writing up the grant along with Eric Mills.
I'll make the motion to accept. I have a motion to accept. I need a second.
Also,
I have a second. All in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next item will be discussion and possible action on a health coordinator.
What this is currently, it's a certified position. It's changed so much. And once upon a time, I used to be the health coordinator, but now it's a pretty big deal. It's very involved. You have to be a nurse or you have to be a psychologist That's it. That's only two people that could be a health coordinator. So what we'd like to do is, let's leave it up to the professionals. Let's make it a classified person and make it our, one of our nurses. That, I mean, they're the professional. That way they don't have to call someone every time they need a Band-Aid or purchase something. That's what I recommend we do. It's a stipend, $3,000. It's not a new position, it's just it's always some, we'll fill it from within.
Does anyone have any more questions on it or any comments or anything? If not, I'm going to need a motion for approval.
I'll make a motion.
Okay, I need a second. Second. Have a second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Next item is going to be discussion and possible action on the salary schedule for the school year 2017-2018.
Mr. Hill. All right, in your packets, you should have the extra service and stipend schedule. We talked about that in the budget meetings and went over with you on the changes and the more transparency that we've fulfilled on this, I believe. Makes it easier to read. And we talked about some of the changes on extra days and things to make it just a pure stipend. The next thing that we want to talk about is on the regular salary schedule. The certified salary schedule will be the same as it was for last year. There are no changes. The classified salary schedule is going to be pretty much the same, except for a couple of items here for food service. For the current year, 16-17, we're going to change out a little bit on how the food service program operates its summer feeding. We need to add 3 positions for the summer feeding program, which actually started on May the 26th. We can't really do the cooks the way that they are, and then we have the delivery drivers for the food that goes on the mobile routes and for the expedition that we use to transport food. We need to add a food service assistant number 2, which is what the cooks / delivery person will be doing. Then there's the delivery driver that uses the expedition. And then we need a lead delivery driver, which will be transporting and lifting and carrying and doing all kinds of things with taking the food to the mobile sites. We can't just switch out, because part of the year last summer was with the cook and just the delivery driver. So we need to actually add that position for this current year to take care of the June and May section of the summer feeding. And then what we'll do is what we're proposing is on the 17-18, we'll remove the cook in favor of the food service assistant number 2. That cook will go away. And then the delivery driver will go away to be just what's actually listed as a summer feeding driver 10. And that will be changed over to a delivery driver, and that position will go away. And then we're adding again for both years the lead delivery driver. And the reason why that we need to do this is the new positions will require different duties than what they're actually doing right now. And this will ensure that we have good prospects for the employees for the summer program. And then also with the different positions being added for the summer, as opposed to carrying on with the ones we have and trying to use those when we really probably shouldn't, it will keep us from having these pension spikings. So that's all for that. Other than those, the classified schedule will be the same.
Well, I want to ask a question. And this has been, pardon eating at me on the food service for
Unintended.
past, yeah, it's been eating at me the past 4 years. And I've tried food service, this funding, and I agree 100%, we got other people, classified people that need an increase in salary. And hopefully we can look at that. But if there's money available, and on the cooks, beginning $7.97, you work 27 years and you get $11.02, I believe is how it figures out. So if I would say, I'd like to see across the board, how many cooks we got? 25?
Probably about 25.
25. So if we gave them, of course, I'd like to give them a 1.5, if they got a 1%, say you're a beginning cook. I'm not good at math, so I'll let you do that part of it. But that would be like, they're making $7.97. If you gave them a 1%, that's about 8 cents. 8 cents for the hour. That's 6.5 hours a day. Is that what they work?
Yeah. So
So we're looking at 52 cents a day. And you go 5 times that. You're looking at my figures, and that's not a whole lot. And I know the concern, and I'll take the blame. I'll take the hit. Because you may not want to give this group a raise because other people are going to think, well, get a little upset because they didn't get a raise. Well, I'm looking at them now. But if I got some surplus money in food service, the money's available, I don't want to penalize my cooks who do a great job, who are there at 4:30 in the morning, who work hard. I want to reward them somewhat. And I know Marcy's done a great job as far as, giving them some shoes and here and there. But I just think they deserve, and if people get upset, and it's me, of course, I just think if we got the money and it's available and it can be done, like I figured up, it's $131 for your, and for those people that work 27 years, that's going to come out to about $151 a year. So I don't know if you give me some, like I said, I'm not very good at finances, or I just read my overdraw every month on my bank or figures. But I don't know, could you just explain to me or the people here that's about food service and how it is different than, which I know my teacher's aides, which I'm going to work, hopefully we'll strive to get them a raise. I know my custodians need a raise, and library aides and this and that. But that comes out of the general fund. For cooks, it's a totally different a ball of wax. And if it's there, I don't know, you guys back here, bus drivers, would you get mad if my cook got a raise?
Hurt my feelings a bit.
Aren't the cooks in your, aren't the cooks included in
They're
your
classified.
I'd be glad to see them get a raise.
And did you?
And I know some people, and you would say, and I would, I'd be happy to see somebody get an increase, and I would say, boy, I wish I could have got a raise too, I can understand that. And yeah, there are people out there that don't want to see other people get a raise, I understand that, unless they get one.
That's all right.
But this is a different, which Marcy hopefully will explain, go ahead.
You take your cooks, they're up, my wife worked 25 years, and she still wasn't over $10 an hour.
That's what I'm saying, 27,
Her time come down to 23 years after the figure that.
27 years, they get 1102.
They're up on the roads every morning before anybody gets out there and cooking and getting ready. They need brought, I think they need brought up with the teachers.
But just explain, Marcy, if you don't care, on the, how food service funding is not in with teachers' aid. I mean, just give an explanation, because I want to see them get an increase. And again, it's me. And I understand how others might feel, but I'm not going to penalize somebody. If the money is there and it's available for the raise, then I want to see them, I'd like to see that salary. And we've changed for others, the salary schedules, and we've given other, as far as prep times and this and that, and I think it's time for them. That's just how I feel about it, but would you explain how it comes out of food service and if it is or if it isn't available
The food service operates solely on its own,
independently, but
yes, as somewhat like a business, we get reimbursed based on the amount of meals that we feed. And so far, the general fund has, since I've been taking care of it, has not had to bail food service out for any reason.
but
We
don't-
do have funds now, but some of that we need to kind of earmark for the new school, for furniture and equipment and things like that that we might need for the new school. I have no idea about the funding going forward. We have a new administration. So food service does operate separately from the general fund, and any raise given to the cooks would come solely from the food service fund. It
Well, I'd
would
like
not
to see at
affect
least get,
the general fund.
which the figures I give, which is not a whole lot, but at least 1%.
I guess I'm confused. Did you say it was 52 cents a day per cook?
Yeah,
Okay.
52 cents, and
And
I
there's
got,
25
I figured it
cents?
on 48, and for a week,
Maybe
for a
about
week,
20, like
it's gonna be
20.
about
I think we have,
$2.80 more on a
Well,
week.
I must be the really bad one at math, because for some reason I come up with $12.55 a day, and then when you do $12.55 times 30, it's $3.76. Am I,
Well, it's 8
am
cents.
I per month?
It's 8 cents an
And
hour,
then
right?
that-
8 cents
I
an
did
hour.
have all the spreadsheets. And
It's
I
6.5,
did
it's
anything
6,
from
let's
a
just say it's 6 hours.
1% to a 6% raise, and the 1% is not a great deal. It's not, it wouldn't be
No,
a
it's
big chunk
48.
in there.
By my math, it's around 48 cents a day
Per cook.
per cook. It's, it'd be,
Would depend on
$2.70 a week
where they're at on the salary
and
scale.
$10.80 a month. Well, I did the figures on, for 27 years, 27 years,
I don't have-
1102, it's a 65 cents a day raise. You know, you're getting, $3.25 extra a week. You're getting $12.60 extra a month, which goes up to $151 a year.
It's actually $10.
So,
I-
you know,
Roger,
I didn't get
I
it
agree.
exactly, like I said, that's our,
That the cooks do need it and they do deserve it, along with most of our classified employees.
yeah, I
The
agree.
general fund probably cannot handle it. There
No,
cannot
that's what I'm
be
saying.
an across the board
Next year, I would like to look at
raise.
teachers' aides, I'd like to look at custodians, but right now, I'm just saying, and again, you can say it's all me, and of course, you guys can vote, but I'm gonna make a motion that we give them at least 1% raise.
I agree with you, you know, all of our classified persons, all of our staff needs, needs more money. I'm all for that. I couldn't recommend, in good conscience, unless you do everybody's, it needs to be district-wide, because we don't know.
Well, I'm saying,
as far as
yeah,
the-
we can sit here and we can talk. Talk is cheap. I wanna do something to help.
But we've got a new school to build. and
I
we will
understand
use-
that, I've been there. I've been there longer than anybody. Don't get on that with me. I'm just saying that if I'm going, and then you guys can vote against it. You recommend it, that's fine, but I'm saying where I stand. And I've talked to my cooks for 4 years, and I've talked to other people. Now, that's where I stand. I say, I'd like to give them 1.5, but at least 1. And if you guys don't want to do it, that's fine. But that's where I stand.
Is it feasible that we could give the 1%?
It is feasible, yes. Food service can sustain that at this point.
At this point.
At this point, food service can sustain it.
Now,
And we don't have to do, this is just tentative. Heck, we can sit down and talk about it more.
But
But I'm saying where I stand now.
you're
And as
also,
far as the new school, I've been involved with this new school, this one right here, and me, for more, longer than anybody here,
On me, I've been here from day one.
but you were gone.
What happened last year?
Listen, I have worked on emergency funding from the very beginning. I started with a meeting down at Miss Ives. So I'm just saying,
Do you have some kind of, I mean, that,
don't bring that up.
I did
I'm just saying, don't use
I
that
did
as an
have the
excuse.
spreadsheets and everything. I don't know if I could find them really quick, and it was based on last year's salaries also.
I mean,
But
I'd
it
have to
would
see
be
the
ballpark,
data
but-
before I could vote on anything.
No, we'll have to figure out exactly how much it is.
If
What's
you
going
bring
on.
that to our next meeting,
Yes.
That's all I ask.
okay, so,
Yeah, I can buy
okay,
the
so you'll bring it
numbers.
and give us a report next meeting. Okay, is that okay, Roger?
That's fine. That's
Okay.
all I ask. Okay.
Okay.
For me, I just wanna make sure we get the school built, get everything we want in it. And then let's take care of our adults. Let's take care of the kids first, then we'll take care of the
I
adults.
agree with that 100%, but I'm saying, I've been looking at this for 4 years, and I'm saying it's time to, heck, like I said, you want to take some action. You don't want to. This is where I stand on it.
I agree, I mean, but I believe everyone needs a raise. I think if we give one set a raise, it should be everyone. And until we can do that, I think that we should, what Superintendent James said, focus on school and getting what the kids needed, because you don't know how much everything's going to cost. There's no way to project that until it's done, until it's ready to buy it. And the new administration, we've seen the cuts left and right, so. But that's just my opinion. So if you're gonna bring it in next meeting and give us some idea, so we can go ahead with this one on our discussion.
Just
for
give me
the extra salary.
just give me the number of kids we have. Give me how much. I like to look at-
I've got the spreadsheet. I'll give you the spreadsheet.
And how much money,
It shows,
if it's
salary,
feasible, if it's
fringe,
feasible, that's all I ask. And if it's feasible, like I said, I'll take the blame. Yeah, I'd like to see everybody get a raise too, but I'm not gonna penalize one group because I'm afraid I'm gonna make another group upset. It'd be like me coaching basketball. Like, I'm not gonna play you because he's gonna get mad.
Ernest, and then if they do the data for the cooks, we so have respect every group.
Yes.
Everybody got an equal right.
Yes, custodians, because I think it should be for everyone, but that's just me.
Well,
I
I
don't
feel the
think
same
it's
way.
big set.
I feel the same way, but
It's not sustainable to do 1% across the board. Because what I promise you, we've checked, we've looked every which way. Because we don't want to give a raise this year and have to cut people next year, and cut time and take it away from next year. We don't want to do that. And some districts have done that in the past.
like I
Cut
said,
programs.
1%, I'm not. 1% is $7.97, and 1% $11 after 27 years.
We don't know what this is going to do to food service. Title II money's gone. That program's cut, that's $200,000. That's 3 teachers next year.
If you can show me that it's not feasible, that we can't, I got no problem. You gotta show me the figures.
What we need to do is to go on with this, our salary schedule that was presented on the record for
The-
right now.
We should kind of split this up a little bit if we can. To amend the current schedule to add 3 positions for summer feeding. And then we can approve all the salary schedule that I've presented to you in your packets for the next school year.
And there's people out in that community, look, I mean, they depend so much on this summer feeding program.
Yes.
There's kids that would go hungry without it. So I'm really thrilled that we
Yeah,
do
well, I
have that.
appreciate it very much.
Yes.
Especially in my district.
Yes. you have anything else to say? Or do you
No,
want
I
to
don't. No,
Okay,
I don't.
we need a motion. We have a motion to accept. Have a motion, I need a second.
Second.
Have a second. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed? The motion passes. Next item is going to be discussion and possible action to accept insurance package for school year 2017-2018, which includes commercial, automotive, umbrella, and workers' compensation.
Okay, I'll put a copy of this in your packet also. The workers' comp, people's insurance got us quotes for, of course, Keenan, Brick Street, and Liberty Mutual. Both Brick Street and Liberty both declined coverage, and which left only Keenan, which they would get it anyway. They're the going people for school districts in Kentucky. If you'll see on the, did you see on the last page, where it gives a breakdown of what the costs are? The commercial package went up $2,400. I put the math on the side. $4,300 for the automotive, $1,900 for the umbrella, and workers' comp went up $43,000. The commercial package actually went down just a touch, but the state mandated for us to have terrorism coverage, which was $4,900, which that's what made it actually increase to $2,400. The net effect was up $2,400. The commercial packages, Wright Specialty, Liberty Mutual, and EMC Insurance Company. Wright Specialty and EMC declined to bid on us because of the rate, which left us with Liberty Mutual, which, as People's Insurance says, they're pretty much the one company between them and EMC. They're usually the companies that cover the districts in Kentucky. So, as you can see, these costs went up, especially the workers' comp. But I would urge that we approve this for the mere fact that we only have two offerings anyway, and those are the cheapest since they're the only offerings.
So what company are you recommending?
We only have one company for each. Kimi is the only company that will provide workers' comp, and Liberty Mutual is the only company that provided the commercial coverage.
You know, Kenny seems to be a good company to deal with. I really, I see them, I mean, working in insurance all day long. I see them, I get paid faster from them than anybody, so
And they're
they
really
take care of our people.
They're really good to work with on paperwork and stuff for upstairs. They are really quick to bring everything out and send it to you.
They cover about everybody in the state.
Yeah.
Does anyone have any comments or questions on that? We'll make a motion. To accept, yes.
I'll make the motion to accept.
I have a motion to accept. I need a second.
I'll second.
I need a second. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Okay, motion carries. Our next item is going to be discussion and possible action on tentative budget for the school year 2017-2018.
Feel like I'm hogging the show. I made everyone a new copy of this for the bonding. I've got a little PowerPoint. We'll try to go through it decently fast. It's pretty much everything that most of you have seen before. Steve being new, I thought I'd run through this again just for his benefit. Okay. Tentative budget. This is the second step of our budget process. Of course, first is draft budget. It's kind of an overview of everything that's going on. It's more of a discussion thing. There's nothing to turn in. Tentative budget, we actually turned it into KDE. That has to be done in the next couple days after it's approved. This is our estimate going forward until we have more clearer numbers after the first of the year. We'll start getting, instead of projected numbers, we'll start getting actual numbers after KDE has finalized the pupil counts, the ADMs, the ADAs, all these things that go into the calculations for our funding. All right. Revenue and expenses, notable trends. Revenue sources, this is like normal. We get our funds from state and SEEP and state grants. We get local monies, we get federal money, and we get money back from E-rate. Our expenditures, which is the largest, is our salaries, then fringes, insurances, utilities, the unemployment, travel, supplies, and we have a contingency that we work with. We have debt service, which is the big spreadsheet big graph that I laid out for you guys. And then gifts and leases is for our buses. Ford is not a revenue generating entity. We get all of our funding from public sources. The unmined minerals is one thing to note there. They're probably, I haven't heard anything yet, what we're gonna get this year. We probably, I'm assuming we're not gonna get anything. I don't know that, but I'm assuming nothing. And at the rate that we're going, there is no mining operations in Martin County. We will probably not get any funding from unmined minerals next year either. I'm not planning on that. Just the breakdown of kind of what their percentages are. State seat money is the biggest revenue. We get about 70%. Local revenue is about 27%, and then we have miscellaneous things that come in to fill the gap. Here is a revenue for this year. And I finally got a reply for how they use the revenue that we collected for taxes to calculate our compensating and tax rates for the year. We had, because of last year, it being late on getting the tax bills out, we had some spillover from 16 into 17 we collected. That actually counts for this year, because the state looks at how much revenue that we pulled in from July 1 to June 30th. So instead of the rate that we're getting for just 17, which is about 60%, 61%, something like that, we're actually counting the whole pool of money, and we're up to almost 82% collection rate, which will be used to calculate our tax rate for this year coming. So that's a good thing. Bad last year. Hopefully, if assessments stay about the same, things are looking good for that. This is just a little wheel of where the challenges are for our finances. Loss of students, and this is the same graph that I used the last time for the working budget and for the tentative. Because these are still the issues that we're facing: the loss of students, loss of taxpayers, the step increases for our employees, the loss of coal severance money. At that time, we were talking we were going to get less. Now we're talking we're not going to get any. The carryover that we'll have from our ending budget, the retirees for sick and leave buyout, and then the need to make sure that we match our expenses to our revenues. Expense obligations, salaries, fringes, insurances, buildings and utilities, keeping those up, transportation, the buses, our debt service, and then our KISTA leases. We have actually retired the lease from KISTA for the bus garage this year, and we're planning We're talking about it, about new buses for the fall. It's getting time. We need to pick up a couple buses. Salary increase for this year with the fringes is approximately $200,000. That's for the whole district. 17-18 concerns. Seek. The seek projection that they gave me 2 weeks ago, they have already revised it. Our at-risk kids, the number has been diminished on how much they're funding. We were gonna stay from the projected to what we are actually right now. It was only like a $2,000 difference, and it was good, it was positive. But they have already sent me an email that says we're cutting the seek for at-risk $52,000. So they're what to do plus some more. Title II has been eliminated. That's $200,000 approximately, close. That's gone. Bond payments starting this year, we're at just a little over $1 million, and that does not include the bonding that hasn't happened yet for our ATC. So that's gonna go up a little bit. But the way that the bonding works, where it's in this year coming, we'll be paying an interest payment only. There won't be a principal payment. But then it really jumps for the next year. Salary sustainability, like I said, we had a $200,000 increase. Insurance increase was $52,000 also. That's for the property, for the liability coverage and for the workers' comp altogether. The other concerns is our declining assessments. Hopefully those have pretty much leveled out. I think the drop is already probably, say, hit the bottom. Lowering tax base in the local economy. I threw this one in there just because I got a letter yesterday that the auditors for the sheriff department found a discrepancy in the fiscal year 14, which was 3 years ago, of course, and they over-collected taxes, and we owe the city back $47,000. Don't know what's going to happen to that yet. I'm still looking into that, but I thought I'd throw that up there. 17, here's a breakdown of what I had on there for the insurances. I keep up with the increases, salaries, and Fund 1 salaries and increasing salaries in the grant funds. The grants are reducing while expenses are increasing. Utilities, they go up every year. Insurances apparently go up every year. We had a lowering on one and a increase on the other, which kind of leveled things out a little bit last year, but also on insurances, we had to pick up a builder's package for our new high school to cover theft and damages. That also covers for damages for natural disasters, stuff like that. And of course, it seems like we're monitoring everything all the time. Contingency. I'm shooting for contingency this time of $900,000. That's up from $650. It's only $250,000. So there's still not a whole lot of wiggle room there. We need to try to keep that. We need to try to stay within our budget, minimize expenses to secure the ending balance. Additional Fund 1 obligations beyond salaries is the school allocations, budgeted at $195,000. Local share bond payments, KISS the leases on all buses, increasing costs on insurance and employee benefits. Steve, I'll give you a copy of this since we're kind of going a little bit fast. Course of action to address budget concerns is, of course, continue to re-examine staffing policies, don't fill vacancies, monitor utility uses and implement conservation measures, reduce wear and tear on buses whenever possible. And that's if we don't need to make trips for field trips or extracurricular, that we can consolidate or something like that, helps to reduce cost. Receive reimbursements for our schools for their extracurricular trips. That happens pretty fair. Ensure the site-based allocations. Reduce dependency on substitutes for classified that hit the general fund really hard, and reduce the number of substitutes for certified positions also. Continue search for cost savings on supplies and services, and I do this all the time. When I get a bill, I look at it pretty good. And we've already talked about insurances, that I found some savings there. And I have a few more items on that we're looking at to try to cut some more on insurance. Stay close to the school allocations. We need to prepare long-term plans for budget, for district improvements, and actually, if we can try to budget toward those improvements, especially if they're smaller, and that doesn't sound good, but smaller means less than $1 million. But if we can move toward that without having to do bonding, it saves us a lot of money. Try to eliminate non-emergency improvements to the facilities. Staffing levels, effectively use personnel. We need to pay attention to the immediate and long-term versus long-term assessments of the needs for the schools. Cost of service versus quality of service. And conclusion is, decreasing revenue at federal and state levels. The levels continue to trend downward, trending. Expenses are upward. Decreasing staffing will help if at all possible. Savings and conservation. And it's a joint cooperation between everybody. If anybody has ideas that would be helpful, we can bounce them off and try to save money. And of course, fiscal responsibility is for everyone. The tentative budget, I gave you guys a copy of that. Like I said, we're shooting for $900,000 at present. That looks like it's a really decent possibility. Like I said, the farther we go into the fall, we get more accurate numbers, more concrete things instead of these projections. Things can go up, things can go down. But for right now, I think this looks pretty good.
Hey, you talk about the school facilities improvement plan. you know. So, which I guess they got a new assessment, Amoresco, is that the name of it? Does everyone come in and make assessment?
Well, they are today. They did today.
So, they are what? We're looking at one particular school.
They're assessing all of our schools.
They're going to visit all the schools. So they will bring us back a listing of improvements that they see and give us a report back for that.
So we're having a training session the last of June, right? So we send two people to that training session. So, they're trained to what's the condition of the school, what's their training session.
We heard Ross Grant to do that. This makes the second time they've been in our district. They came in today.
So, what I've read about it, you've got to select, it says one school, select at least one school, right, to be assessed this summer. Is that what they're saying?
I'm not talking to them today. They'll call me tomorrow, next day or two. They assess all of our schools.
So they're going to a different rating system of what they're taking class. They're part of this bunch, what, the KDD, had like $1.some million to grant to come in, change the rating system on schools where they stay and evaluate them. So, so the architects can go to the training session, but we're gonna send one. We can send one or two other people,
I think so, I think too.
but the architects can, and there's no cost involved, and then they get paid training and all that, so.
Does anyone have any questions or anything on this?
Can anybody comment, or we wait till the end?
Well, it's a special meeting, we don't have comments at special meetings.
I was just gonna ask about substitute bus drivers.
Okay, but that, usually if it's a special meeting, we just take what's on our agenda, and I'm sorry.
Okay, I didn't know, because, we're needing subs, and we're not getting anybody through the door, having to pay overtime for people to drive buses. If we had subs, we wouldn't have to pay them overtime, that's what I was wondering. When he said, if we had any comments, that's what I was thinking, when he said
But
that.
usually that's with the board, within the board.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Ernest and I, we've worked really hard on getting our district in good financial shape, and, I mean, we've cut, well, we've not cut, we've just not replaced. You know, and we've been overstaffed in the past, and we're losing kids, so we need to get smaller. And, Ernest does an outstanding job.
We appreciate you very much. Very much. But on this, then I'm going to need a motion to accept the minutes today.
I'll make the motion.
Have a motion, I need a second. I'll second. Have a second, all in favor say aye. Aye, opposed, motion carries. Next item is going to be discussion and possible action on the amended calendar for school year 2016-2017. Larry?
This is just our final calendar, included all the days we've missed for snow, electricity, NTI days. It's just, this was the final calendar for this past school year.
So we need a motion
Yeah,
to
yeah, we
accept
do.
it?
I would just like to say, of course, on the graduation, which Ray was like a genius on that call. Perfect weather, and you couldn't ask for a nicer day. And that's probably one of the largest crowds I've seen at that at the football field. And maybe it's because it was the day or Friday before Memorial Day. Maybe all the family came in, but it seemed like a good time. And things seemed, lots of kids did an outstanding job for the speeches, and things were, I don't think could have went any better. So, we'll make the same call next year. I'll make a motion.
Okay, have a motion to accept the calendar for 2016-17. I need a second. Have a second, all in favor say aye.
Did you sit? You should sit down with us.
Opposed? Okay.
Don't look at it, we have to make it.
Okay. Okay, opposed? Not, okay, motion carries. Next item is going to be discussion possible action on memorandum of the agreement for the school-based therapy to Mountain Comprehensive Care Center.
This is just, let's get off to an earlier start than usual. It's just a agreement we do every year with Mountain Comp. They come in and provide services for schools. Doesn't charge anything.
We like free.
Yeah. Just get off to a head start.
And it's good, and it's good.
Yeah, they
Like
do.
free
They do
and
good work.
good.
Yes,
Good
they
and
do
good.
good work, and our children need it. So
We
do I
did
get
it.
it?
They got a changer or something. We did
So
it
where'd you sit at
this
graduation?
year, so this is for myself.
He was shooting hard papers off of it.
So a lot of people.
So that was changed on that first page, changed that. His major. We didn't change anything major from last year.
I know, they're for people. Okay. Then I need a motion.
I make a motion.
Have a motion, I need a second.
I'll say.
Got a second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, okay, motion carries. Next item is MCEA report.
MCEA report.
Well, I guess we were here just to check on the new jobs and make sure our contract was followed. You know,
Everything all good?
good deal.
Well, good. Now we need a motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion.
Have a motion to adjourn, I need a second.
Second.
And a second, all in favor say aye. Opposed? Okay, you stand adjourned. Thanks, everyone, for coming out and joining us, okay?